What is going on, Colts Nation? Here's Jamal, and I'm Eric, your
Yo,
co-host of the
yo.
Colts Cast. Hey, the Houston Texans. We're headed. Well, we're not heading anywhere. Well, Jamal might be because he's going to the game. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
Houston Texans are headed to Lucas Oil Stadium next Sunday to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Week 1. Pretty sure we're underdogs at home. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The disrespect is there, and that's fine because we gonna do what we have to do. But today, and today only, we have for you all 3 bold predictions about the week 1 matchup with the Houston Texans. So just 3 bold predictions that we got. Jamal, where are we starting off at?
Hey, y'all know the drill. We're going to start off by hitting that like and subscribe button. Let us know you're here. Drop your comments below. Tell us how you think about our 3 bold predictions. Let us know your bold predictions. Let us know what's going on. I think I'm going to try to tailgate for week 1 too, Eric. More to come when we drop the pregame episode. So any Colts fans out there, if you're going to be tailgating for week 1, let me know as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it, dog. And this is one, Eric, where I feel like at some point,
You starting with the good, right?
I'm starting with the good. Yeah, starting with the good.
Okay,
Starting with the good. But like, this is one we shouldn't even have to be having this conversation. But for some reason, just some reason, we have to. Sometimes I hate even I when I was thinking about this, I was like, why do we even need to spend a bold prediction on this or waste a bold prediction on this? But the reality of it is we got to. And
Yeah.
here it is. Colts will win week 1 to break a 10-year curse and start the division undefeated.
We gonna do that?
Colts will win week 1. 10 years. Just to put in perspective, just put this perspective for you, Eric. Last time Colts won, 2013? Andrew Luck was quarterback. Vic Ballard was running back. Reggie Wayne was fielding catches. I mean, like, that's a different era.
That's been a
in
long time.
the Colts regime, yeah. And we still have to talk about winning week 1 to break a curse and start off in the division undefeated. That's wild, man.
Yeah, and if we can do that, I mean, you started off, and then we're heading to Green Bay that next week.
Yes,
Like
sir.
we need that momentum to carry us into week 2 because the schedule doesn't get really easier. I know our schedule last year was pretty mediocre, but this year it's a little tough. You know, heading in Green Bay, then got to come back home, play the Bears, who their fans have just been invigorated with all these additions, including their number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. Then we got to hit the Steelers up, the Jags, Titans, a lot of divisional matchups. And if we can start week 1 on a high note and take the Texans out, because, we only lost them by 4 points in week 18. We beat them in week 2 as well. So there are some good things going into this game. However, this curse kind of looms over us. And we just got to break that curse. We break that curse, we're going to be heading in a positive direction. So we got to break that curse, start division undefeated. What's our next one, Jamal?
Next one. I kind of like this one a lot just because I think it has the potential to be bumped up a little bit more. But just looking at numbers historically, I think we put a pretty fair amount for us.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor will combine for 200 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns total. Now, I'll bring that to you because JT has been solid against the Texans historically, averaging 135 per game against them. And in the last 4 matchups, averaging 159 yards against them. We saw AR on the field last year, managed to get 35 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns before getting injured. And those are all just like patty cake for him.
That was 2 drives.
Yeah, exactly. He would have easily hit, I would assume, 60, 65 yards in that game because he was going to be running all over him. So between JT balling out historically on the Texans like he does, plus what we know AR can do because we saw just those little flashes right there, which kind of was our grand opening for him. Hey, I think 200 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, automatic.
Those are some crazy splits. I mean, just with the Houston Texans, because he's done that. I mean, he's had 6 games. Like, this isn't really a small sample size. Jonathan Taylor loves feasting on them. Like you said, 135 yards average on the ground. Like, that's in it. So, like, and you look deeper into it, it's not volume based. It's not like he's always carrying the rock 30 times. Yeah, he's touching it like 20 times plus a game, but he's doing it efficiently against them. We're talking 6 yards per carry. Those are elite numbers. 6 yards per carry. I will take that any day. That is great running game. That's how you do it. If we can do that against the Houston Texans, I mean, we can definitely break this week 1 curse. But now you combine that with a top 5 mobile quarterback.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't even a bold prediction when you break it down that way.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, JT is gonna feast. As we always say, well, as I always say, death, taxes, Jonathan Taylor destroying the Texans' run defense. I've never said that, but now I'm gonna always say that. Oh boy. All right. Let's get into our last bold prediction.
Go ahead.
And
I'll let you start it off.
shout out to the no, I doubt any Texans fans are listening this far in after we just started it off saying we're gonna break the curse and beat them week 1. But
True.
here's another bold prediction. CJ Stroud is going to carve up our secondary. And look, we can't it's not all glee and joyful. It's just the fact of the matter is, I mean, do we not remember? I believe it was week 18. No, I remember watching this. Jamal, we watched the game together.
Yep.
Blown coverage in like the first 10 seconds of the game.
Yep.
Stroud just bombed it down to Nico Collins. Not to mention Stroud completed 77% of his passes that game for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Like very efficient game from him. And he did enough, and we didn't do enough to win that game. But then also week 2, when we were up on them at half, all gas, no breaks, and then after halftime, I don't know what happened, but he threw for almost 400 yards with 2 touchdowns. And that was with 4 starters on the offensive line injured, including the 4-time Pro Bowler, Laramie Tunsil. So now you compound that with the fact that he was still a rookie. I mean, that was a rookie season. CJ Stroud put up historic numbers. Now he's going to be another year in the NFL. He's going to have a healthy line week 1. And they just added Stephon Diggs to make a big 3 trio and Nico Collins and Tank Dell. I mean, it's scary hours for our secondary, which retain essentially the same personnel. Like nothing's changed. I mean, they might swap Darrell Baker out for Jalen Jones to start, but really, is that going to move the needle in the right direction? I don't think so. And Gus Bradley loves to use cover 3 at a high rate, and that's all fine and dandy. But Stroud has been dicing up cover 3 all last season. I can't imagine that kind of goes down. So the Colts have the film. They need a game plan differently. But I think our bold prediction is that CJ Stroud's going to have a day. I mean, there is a silver lining to all this. Like we said, we can still win this game, even if that happens. I mean, we've proven that. I mean, we can stay toe-to-toe with them. When Anthony Richardson played even 2 quarters, it felt like we steamrolled that game. I know it was week 2 and all that stuff happened, but even in week 18, when playoffs were on the line for both teams, we were still within striking distance to take that game. So look, that's not to say we about to get busted up, but our secondary is, I mean,
They're gonna
dog.
feel it. They're
Yeah.
gonna feel it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And just to circle back, I know you mentioned Baker and Jalen Jones. Are we talking about last year, Baker? Because remember, he just got picked up from the Titans off of the waiver wire.
Who?
Darrell
Darrell
Baker
Baker?
Jr.? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, yeah,
Oh, you're just
last year.
okay. Okay, cool. I
So
was
I'm
making sure I heard
saying,
you right. Yeah, that's
yeah.
fine. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want you. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So
But
I'm
yeah,
saying, now, like, who's gonna start opposite side? It's probably gonna be
right.
Jalen Jones. I don't think whatchamacallit, Dallas Flowers did enough. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be
agreed.
Jones and Juju. So,
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
let's say it was, and I could be speaking wrong, but let's say last year we were starting Darrell Baker, now we're starting Jalen Jones. How much does that change our secondary? Because everything else has essentially stayed the same. I know Nick Cross will probably be starting, but Julian Blackman's still back there. Kenny Moore's still back there. What has changed? Our DC is still the same. I don't know what's changed. So there just has to be a different game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. Like you said, I mean, Jones and these guys, they're gonna have their work cut out for them. We're talking about a Nico Collins who who had 146 yards game one, then 195 game two. Now, like you mentioned, though, we still won game one. Even with that 146 he had. So just because they get these yards doesn't mean we're out of the picture. We're out of the,
Mhm.
but again, we can't deny the fact that they're bringing in Stephon Diggs, who I don't care what people say. Some people can say whatever they want about Diggs, but he still put up 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, per year over the past X amount of years. So he's still a factor when it comes to that, especially in a throw heavy offense that we're gonna have on the field with the Houston Texans. So these guys are gonna have their work cut out for them, and unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to not making any changes in the secondary. But like you said, Eric, that doesn't mean that this game is over. Offense can come out there and show up and show out, but the defense just has to be prepared to not let these explosive plays happen. We can't see the 75-yard, blown coverage plays. We got to have good communication. Safety's got to know what's going on. DB's got to know what's going on. So it's gonna be a tough battle for them. I know they can weather the storm, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's gonna be a walk in the park for them by any means at all.
Probably isn't. It's going to be that this is a tough test, especially week one.
Yeah.
But if they can put up a solid performance, I mean, we can put this game in the bag. I think this offense is going to surprise
Oh,
people.
for sure, for sure.
And those are our 3 bold predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Colts Nation, if you're on YouTube, of course, let us know what you think in the comments. If you're not on YouTube, go ahead and hop on YouTube and
Absolutely.
just say something about the pods. Say something about this episode. We love to hear from you all. We're always chatting with you guys in the comments. Thank you very much for listening. That is going to be it for us, Colts Nation. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next week to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take care.